Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to another episode of I.O.W. Sports Network. Hey, it's your boy Wildcard Mar in the building. Hey, no more baseball talk, no more basketball talk. The NBA done. No more Olympics. No more Olympics. I'm gonna go old school black folk on you. No more Olympics. All right, that's all wrapped up. It's time to talk the king of the sports world. We're talking NFL football. Football is back, and we're about to preview the last team of the NFC East. And I had to bring a special guest to talk. This specific team, as you can tell, that you talking about them birds, fly Eagles fly. So, without further ado, enough talk. Let's get to it. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You are back for another episode of I.O.W. Sports Network. It's your boy Wildcard Mar in the building. Hey, this guy, my special guest that I got coming here, he showed me the blueprint on how to have more podcasts than the Jamaican Got Jobs. He showed me the blueprint on how to, work your ass off in this podcast game. This guy has his own website and everything. This guy is doing major things. He's no stranger to the show. And when we talking about Fly Eagles Fly, when we talking about Philadelphia Eagles, I turn to nobody else than the one and only. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the I.O.W. Sports Show as we preview the Philadelphia Eagles for the 2024 season. He's too cool. My man, Cool McCain. What's happening with you, Walter?
Hey, man, I got to live up to the expectations you just set now, man. I'm good, though, bro. I'm good.
Hey, man, I got no doubt that not only will you live up to it, you will far and beyond exceed them expectations. I got to pump you up, dog. I got to hype my guy up, man. Always a pleasure to talk, Eagles with my guy. But before we get started, cool, let the people, the viewers, the watchers, the listeners, drop anything that you got that you want to plug so that they can make sure. And anytime that you speak in a microphone, whether it's on camera, all camera audio, that they can hear your voice. Go ahead, my brother.
I don't know what just happened with the visuals. That's crazy. But anyway, you still hear me, right?
Yeah,
I just got to doing the show, no problem. So this is crazy. But so a couple places you can find me, man. So radio stations, getting on some of those now too. Starting to get a little brand. So 502 Angel Radio. Real Wise Radio. You can also find a lot of my shows. Mm-hmm. Straight on YouTube. It's real simple. It's real. Just you either go to @Real Play Callers. That's where you can find two of the shows I do. Monarchs of Wrestling, Mondays 6:30 p.m. where we talk everything professional wrestling, TNA, AEW, and WWE. The reason for the triple is those are the big three. So let's talk about all of them. You know what I'm saying? And then WWE got a little thing where they're working with TNA now. So NXT, so you got that, all going. Then on Wednesdays, for what we're here for now, at Eagles Elite Podcast, 8:30 p.m. All you got to do is type either one of those into your search bar on YouTube, and we coming up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Hey,
Hey
if you say his
man,
name, he will appear, sir.
hey, he will appear. Hey man, so let's get down to it, man. Hey, Eagles, a lot of expectations on the squad. They just kind of give me on a scale of 1 to 10, or just just break it down. How are you feeling about the upcoming 2024 season with your squad, man? Just kind of break down how you feeling.
Hey man, I'm feeling confident. There's always questions. I'm back. I'm back, so y'all can see me again. I do a little quick troubleshooting while I was giving y'all the info, but it's good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to see the mug. Y'all got to see the seriousness when I'm saying these things. Y'all know it ain't just, you know what I'm saying, me just pulling stuff out of my hind parts and throwing it at the screen. We don't do that around here.
Not never.
Area strength, man, is definitely starting wide receiver. No question about that. You got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the guys behind there, you're starting to get a little bit more interesting, right? You got Paris Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Right now looks to be the number 3, but competition's still there. Johnny Wilson, rookie we drafted in the 6th round, is outperforming the rookie wide receiver that we drafted in the 5th round, and Anaya Smith. He's making the plays. Right? I mean, he's only expected to do certain things. You're not taking Johnny Wilson and saying, put this man in the slot. That's not where he's good at. You're looking at his skills, you're looking at what he did at Florida State. You said, okay, let me look at what he did well and let's mimic that.
Yeah.
So let's put him in situations where the things that he does well, he's doing. Big body guy can go up and get the ball. He's not a guy, honestly, you want to put the ball right on. You want to make him have to stretch out to get the ball. That's when you get the plays. You put the ball right on him.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily the same player. Then behind the depth chart, that's where things get interesting. As of now, you got John Ross and Britton Covey as the 2 backup wide receivers.
Wait. Is this the same John Ross that Mr. Big Time 40 retired as a Chief last year? And he
is back. And right now, he's Devontae Smith's backup on the depth chart. Now, we got a lot of training camp and different things to go. So a lot of this is going to probably change on the back end besides your starters for a lot of these positions. But just having some depth, having guys that we're looking at and saying, all right, Anaya Smith, he may be a guy that he ends up beating out a guy like Britton Covey, because to me, Britton Covey, not a hands guy. Like, he's great on punt returns. Well, he's okay on punt returns and kick returns. Great at throwing around too much, but he's okay on those. But I think Anaya Smith has more of an upside, more of a future, and will end up being a better player. It may take him a little time for adjustments and stuff like that, because it's just what it is.
Yeah.
Once he gets it, I think he's going to get it. And it may be before camp's over. I think he's in the battle for one of these. I assume we're going to keep 5 to 6 wide receivers, depending on who it is, because we got a guy that can also be like a punt returner, kick returner, stuff like that. That's going to give him a better chance to make the team.
Yeah.
But we got guys like Joseph Nagata. He's been around a few years. Hasn't really, cracked the top 6 as of yet. But we'll see how that goes too. Maybe knows the system, understands what's wanted. Maybe he can find a way in. But training camp, it's going well so far, but just who's going to win some of these battles? That's always your questions. Who's going to win some of the battles? And the battles are not always for starters, right? Along the offensive line, there's truly only one battle.
Center.
Jordan Mailata is going to have his spot.
Oh, really?
Landon Dickerson is going to have his spot. His left tackle, left guard. At center, Cam Jurgens is the guy that gets the first shot. Things don't go well for him. There's a guy named Matt Hennessy from the Atlanta Falcons that we picked up that can pretty much play almost every position on the line, including center. Okay. So he's the backup. So if Jurgens doesn't work, which I don't think Jurgens won't work. This is a guy that was handpicked, right, by his predecessor to be the success. Jason Kelsey said, "This is the guy that we need at center." So that's big shoes to fill. You did him like you did me to start the show. So hey, he got to go out and perform just like I got you. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, big facts. Because that was that's Jason Kelsey is So let me ask you this: with the retirement of Kelsey, obviously Fletcher Koch walks out the door too. You got some big shoes to fill on not just on the field, locker room, off the field, things like that. How do you make up the loss of a Fletcher Cox and a Jason Kelsey? How do you make up those losses?
There's not one person that can do it. It has to be something that's done as a group. Everyone's got to step up a little bit more. Guys have been there for a while. The rest of these offensive linemen I'm talking about, you can add in there Lane Johnson as well. Dallas Goedert's been there a while. So these guys that have been there have got to step up and take a role. They're not going to actually put all of the duties because Kelsey did everything. Kelsey was the person that you went to for the line. Like if the line needed to adjust right or left, whatever, change coverages, things like that. Kelsey did all of that.
Yeah.
So now those things are going to be divvied up among the veteran offensive line. So you're going to see Dickerson, Johnson, and Mailata doing some of those things because those are the guys that have been there. The only real battle is Tyler Steen and Mekhi Becton for the right guard. Steen missed a little bit of camp with an injury, but he should be good now. But that's really the only battle or quote unquote battle on the offensive line. Now we've heard our new DC come out and say that basically Tyler Steen reminds him of Brandon Brooks. Big shoes to fill there.
Yeah,
but is he ready for that year one?
Yeah.
Right. That's the question.
Yeah, I got you. You kind of laid out some of the things that you're very high on that the Eagles are going to do this year. Tap into your constructive criticism hat and kind of break down some of the flaws or some of the deficiencies that you are kind of seeing right now with the Eagles that hopefully, as the season progressed, are no longer deficiencies. So kind of lay that out for the folks.
Well, I gotta be honest with you, and I mean we haven't had a lot of like playing other teams yet. We had a game the other night. We won, but big whoop.
It's
preseason game. Stars didn't play.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of things I'm concerned with now from what I've seen, but I will say I am concerned with Kenneth Gainwell still being our backup running back.
Ooh.
I don't feel like he played well enough last year to automatically just kind of lay in that position, right? You want to give him a shot. You want to keep him on the team. You know, hey, you're going to do what you do, right? This is your organization.
Yeah.
But if you're attempting to be a winner and be successful, you have to look at it and say, we had to upgrade. I believe Will Shipley is a better back right now.
Okay.
But we will see if I'm right or not. I think last year, what concerns me is last year, a lot of people got positions based on if they were liked by certain people. And we saw that translate in the field. And Gainwell to me was one of those guys that had his position last year because he was liked more so than what he did on the field. He did not gain well, but he still ended up being the back. He did more carries than he could have.
I see.
And that's the type of thing. Yeah, and that's the type of thing that can derail the season when you're doing well. Also, linebacker has to be a concern because it's a lot of guys that are new to this team. You know, we do have a new system, but there's a lot of guys that haven't played together before. You know, you think about Zach Bond, Devin White, Bryce Huff, even though he's really more of an edge, but technically in the system, he's a linebacker. Yeah. Jeremiah Trotter Jr., right? These are guys that haven't played together. Jalen Hunt. These are guys that were not on this team, weren't part of the team, the group, the camaraderie from seasons past. You do have guys like N'Kobe Dean and Nolan Smith, Brandon Graham, who were, but you have a lot more guys in that position that weren't. So they're going to have to learn each other, how they like to move, a lot of things about each other. So that could take a little bit of time. I feel much better at cornerback now. We made some changes. So right now, we got Darius Slay, Isaiah Rodgers as our top two corners. Rodgers and Ringo on the defensive side are in a battle to see who's going to be that starter. Like a lot of people aren't saying it, but straight up, they're in a battle. Isaiah Rodgers has the edge, but Ringo is not going to go down.
Yeah.
He's trying, his best to get the other position. We started looking at nickelback, right? Because a lot of people wonder what was going to happen at nickel. I was as well. What I see now is I see Quinyon Mitchell as a starting nickelback, and then Cooper DeJean, even though he's on a non-football injury list, as the backup. The reason for that is very simple. They have Avonte Maddox as the backup free safety right now because you got an injury to Sidney Brown, so he's not able to play. He's on the pup list because he was injured last year. He'll be back, but he's not back yet. So some of those things could switch around, but that's where we're at right now. Now, rookies. If I sit here and tell you I'm comfortable, all my rookies are going to perform well this year, I'm lying to you. We all know that that's not the case.
Yeah. Understood.
Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Jalix Hunt, a lot of young first-year players that we brought in and we want to have some sort of role. Same thing with Will Shipley, and even on the offensive line, Trevor Keegan, who's a fifth-round pick, right now is the backup left guard behind Landon Dickerson. Landon Dickerson's a guy that's been around for a while, right? So, once you've been around for a while, he came out in 21, we're talking about 3 years, but, the tush push, I feel like it adds years to your line. So I feel like a guy like Landon Dickerson, a guy like Lane Johnson could miss a part of a game or a game, just due to, get a little banged up throughout the year. So their backups are important.
Yeah.
So that, something else to look at. Nakobe Dean's a question mark. He's been there, but he kind of like the backup 1 year, the guy that was learning apprentice. And the next year came on, he got the captain's patch and everything, and then got hurt. He missed a lot of time, came back, and then got hurt again. So is he going to be a guy who's a little bit undersized? Is he going to be durable in the league? Is he going to be a guy that we can depend on moving forward at that position or not? Is Nolan Smith going to end up being the next assigned red, like people were saying when we drafted him? I mean, I've seen him in camp, and I got to say that man looks like he's chiseled from stone now. But can he get it done? Like, serious?
Nah. Hey, serious questions, man. Hey,
yeah. And then you go to the defensive line. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. We're hearing all good stuff now. They're going through a lot of preparations. They're being pushed to, get their conditioning and everything in order so that they're ready to play bigger roles. Mm-hmm. Are they going to be ready for those roles? We hope it so. We believe it so, but not. If they're not, the guys that are on that second line behind them, Milton Williams as well. You got Moro Ojomo, Marlon Tupeludo, Thomas Booker IV. You got PJ Mustapher, Gabe Hall back there as well. Out of that group, if they can't get it done, or they need to have more rest or not as many reps as they're anticipating them being able to handle, who steps up? Y'all look at that.
Yeah. Hey. Gotta have them people step up. Sometimes you gotta play a little bit better than what you're expected to, and make an impact. I mean, I just think that's just part of the course, part of the nature. Especially when you have certain individuals retire, like a Fletcher Cox or a Jason Kelsey, and hell, if you got the chance to compete. Gotta compete. Is this Nick Sirianni's last year? This is. I ain't even going. Can he coat the question? I'm just going straight on ask. What does he have to do to retain his job next year?
Nick should have been gone after this past season. That was his offense. That was his decision to come and bring in a guy who sucked to be the defensive coordinator after you fired somebody or remove the dude from somebody that you shouldn't have done that for. So to me, he should have been gone after last year. He's not going to be gone after this year no matter what happens. You know why? Because what they did was they took away the responsibility. He's the head coach, yes. But you went out and you hired Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator, Vic Fangio as the defensive coordinator, Michael Clay from the only unit that was any good last year, the special teams, consistently throughout the year, keeps his job. So now, offense, Kellen Moore, defense, Vic Fangio, right? So whatever happens with the offense, all Nick's got to do is, I went and talked to him, and I feel like we should have did this, we should have did that, but they wanted to go this way, blah, to this, blah, to that. That's how he covers his own self. And to me, I don't think when you are running the system and you pick an OC to DC that do as bad as the ones that were there last year. Granted, the offensive coordinator didn't really get a chance because he had to run this stupid series playbook. But to me, when you don't do well at the guys you choose and you try to implement what you do to make it seem like you're the reason why they were successful, you know you weren't, why are you still there? But for some reason, he's still there. My only thing, I don't think they're going to get rid of him after this year. If you didn't get rid of him after an epic collapse, we could talk about, he's on the hot seat. If his seat had already burnt his back and his butt by now, it ain't gonna get hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anything sort of like us somehow being like under 500 and not making the playoffs and just looking completely terrible, which I don't think we're going to do.
Yeah,
he'll be back.
Okay. I'm kind of hearing some rumblings. There might be some kind of beef between him and Jalen. What are you hearing? What's kind of the word on the street between Sirianni and his starting quarterback, man? What's going on?
I'm gonna ask you this question to partially answer. Ask you this question: If you got this offense that made you, in most people's opinion, the MVP the year before. No disrespect to Pat Mahomes, but most people feel like he should have been the MVP the year before. And you go from that to still having solid numbers, but more turnovers, getting hit more, playing injured. And you're running this playbook that everybody knows that is complete hot trash. How would you feel about the architect of that playbook?
I would not feel confident. I would be very disgusted, matter of fact.
Yeah. And that's something that the whole offense talked about. Guys that were there last year, they talked about how, they just weren't confident in the playbook last year. A lot of people were not happy with what was going on, and they shouldn't have been. If you're happy with losing, if you're happy with looking like garbage, winning games, but say, we won, every game's not going to be pretty. But a lot of the wins that we had were against teams we should have blew out that we did not blow out.
Yeah.
Right. When we played y'all, for instance, y'all dropped a ball in the end zone. They would have won the game for you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We played Buffalo. Bad turnover. Helped hurt them. So when we beat the better teams in Miami, once Jalen Waddle went out, Tyreek Hill was just like, I'm done. Y'all can just have this game. Just get some yards so I can try to have a all-time season, but I'm done. I ain't catching no balls across the middle. I ain't catching no balls in the end zone. That's what I mean, seriously. So you talk about these wins, and it's like, we lost to the Jets last year, bro. Like, was to the Jets with the milk hunter at quarterback. Come on, man. That's who we lost to the first game. That we lost. It's disappointing, man. We lost to the Arizona Cardinals last year. We lost to the New York Football Midgets last year. Right? San Francisco, okay. Dallas, they was beating everybody at home. It is what it is, but it's the way you lose sometimes, too.
True.
Shouldn't even beat the Giants the first time we played them. Like, there's 3 or 4 wins that we really shouldn't have got. Jalen Hurts had to make great plays. We can turn over different things to even win some of those games that should have been easy games to win. My issue is, like, what are we going for this year? Are we doing the same thing? Or are we going to say, you know what? Things didn't work out last year, so Nick, you really need to keep your hands off the offense. Or are we going to have this where he's trying to go to Kellen and be like, hey, Kellen, I want you to let's try this, let's try that, right? I would prefer that he stay the rah-rah guy, be down, keep him away from the coordinators, and keep him away from the players if things are not going well. Only let him out and let him lose when things are going well. The rest of the time, just keep him somewhere to the side.
Just stay tucked. Stay tucked.
Yeah, and if I'm Jalen, there has to be some beef from that last year. Now, can I let it go and we move on since he's still here? Cool, yeah. But I think if we sit there and say that everything's fine with their relationship, we lying to ourselves.
True,
right?
true.
We have to earn back some of that respect from his starting quarterback with what he put him through last year. That man was hurt out there trying to help us win games, and you out there running him like he's not hurt. Everybody could see he was hurt.
Yeah.
He was slower than normal. He wasn't able to get away from the blitz. He was taking longer to make throws because it was some type of lower body injury that I think was affecting his ability to plant and really put the ball where he wanted to put it.
Yeah.
But he did everything he could to help the team win.
Yeah. I think Jalen Hurts was really out there trying to gut it out for his teammates. He really was. And
He's
it just, yeah. I mean, you know, he was. I mean, he's a starting quarterback. Got the contract, and he was doing what most quarterbacks would do that earned the contract and love their teammates. He was trying to gut it out. Let's pivot from that real quick now. How much confident would you feel more if actually Kellen Moore was doing more of the play calling than Nick?
See, that I don't know. Like, I guess I would feel so. Well, let me back up. I would have to feel better because I don't feel like it could get much worse. But I don't know, like, with this offense, how Kellen Moore is going to do until we see more. I do know he's put back in some motion. If you remember last year, we weren't motioning the ball. We weren't able to read what the defense was doing or anything. Yeah, y'all were just going out and running the same vanilla plays and expecting to win games.
Yeah, y'all were pretty vanilla.
Yeah. So this year, from what I've seen so far, Kellen Moore has put more of that an open offense into place. I know on the defensive side, Vic Fangio, even though you haven't asked me that yet, I'm going to go ahead and hit it anyway. Vic Fangio is putting in a lot of plays to begin with, and then he's whittling them down as they go. So what makes the difference is that's old school. So then if he go back, like remember that play we was working in camp that we haven't used yet? You know, Y27, Spider, Y Banana, just to throw a name out there.
Yeah.
We need to run that. Y'all remember that play? Yeah, coach, because we ran it, right? So he's doing it that way. Vic is old school, man. I do like old school. And what's the best and most comfortable for me about Vic Fangio is he's going to be here. Yeah. He does not want to go anywhere else. He does not want to be a head coach. He just wants to be a defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
So which you need that.
A huge upgrade in D coordinator. That's the reason why I didn't ask, because I thought that was a huge upgrade in D coordinator. Yeah. I just think that your coordinator last year, he tried to get too cute. He tried to just, you know, take
the second one. Matt Patricia's dumb self.
Well, it's just you got the players. You don't have to get too cute with trying to scheme up certain defenses. You got the dogs. Just let them run. Sometimes keeping it simple, kiss it. Keep it simple, stupid. And sometimes I thought he didn't. I guess he got bored with the simplicity of when you got dogs on your defense, because it's not like you guys didn't have the players on the defense. Maybe the back end, which you kind of shored up in the draft and free agency this year, but hey, y'all was getting back blown out.
Man, it was a big donut hole in the middle, and everybody was just dumping the ball in there.
But I just think that you guys got to upgrade it and D coordinator. Vic Fangio, I admired him. I kind of thought he got a raw deal in Denver, but that's neither here nor there. But he's going to do good with you guys. You got the. Hey, I would probably say I don't know where you will put your front seven. I would probably put at least your front seven closer to a top 10, maybe around 10-ish. You know, 10 to 15 range, I would say is more accurate. But it's not a slouch and it's not elite, but it's damn good. It's good enough to help your back end kind of start coming along and hopefully, you know, carry it apart. But final question before I get you out of here, cool. Take into account everything that everybody's done in the division, and go ahead and rank the division 4-1. 4 obviously being the worst. First being the best.
So at 4, I've got to put the New York Football Giants.
Yeah. I was going to question you if you didn't.
At number 3, without CeeDee Lamb and his 1,700 yards, I'm putting the Dallas Cowboys there. Because you don't have a guy who can do the things that CeeDee Lamb can do on that roster right now. That has
Sure don't.
So if you can't do that and you still have that back there wanting $60 million, you got the owner saying stuff to piss off CeeDee Lamb, like that's stupid. They come out and try to fix it and say I'm stupider. Just don't talk about it. Like for real, just don't talk about it.
Just don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing.
Just say, yeah, I'm not talking about that. We're working on getting a contract. He took everything Cowboys related off his social media and everything. You have pissed that man off.
Mm.
So you don't have that. You got Michael Parsons wanting to get paid. Are you going to pay him? In my assumption, the best case scenario is you either pay Dak or you pay CV and Micah Parsons, because it's going to probably take $60 million to sign those two, close to it, or $60 million to keep Dak. You got to make a decision.
Yeah.
You know how you going to get the money for both. They didn't really do a lot to upgrade on defense. They weren't a great defense on the road last year. They were pretty solid at home, but they outscored people, right? They didn't really go out there and hold teams down to low digits and have a really great statistical year defensively.
Facts.
Number 2, I'm going to put the Washington Commanders as things sit right now. Jaden Daniels, I've said it all along, said the same thing about C.J. Stroud last year. I think he's the most pro-ready quarterback that was in the draft. He's got the arm. He can process. The only knock and the only thing that you ever hear anybody say, and I know you've heard this too, because this is all they have to say, oh, he's reckless when he runs the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't. That's all you got. You can't talk about a whole bunch of bad interceptions. You can't talk about him not reading. You can't talk about him not being able to move in the pocket. You can't talk about his pocket presence or command or any of that. All you can talk about is that when he gets out, he tries to hop over people and do unnecessary things.
Yeah. He takes unnecessary hits.
Yeah. And what I want people to understand is that's coachable.
That is.
You got the pocket. I don't want you to be a superhero. You get out of the pocket, you get as many yards as you can, you got to bounce and get down. If you don't get out of bounds and get down, you're going to come out the game. That's how you fix that. You do that in the preseason. You do that in practice.
Yeah.
You get the rep in his mind. You get him thinking, okay, let me just get there. I don't have to be a superhero. You fix that.
Yeah.
What's Michael Caleb Williams not processing as fast as he could? All these other things, not being able to make all of the throws consistently. Not saying he never makes them and that he won't get better footwork. He needs to work on his footwork and everything. Those are the things you're saying about Caleb Williams, right? Yeah. You're not saying those things about Jaden Daniels because he already has those things.
Yeah.
There's one negative. That negative is being thrown around like that's going to make him a terrible quarterback and he's going to be hurt every other play.
Yeah.
You retrain that and he'll be fine.
Yeah, because I had equated him to a pinball, because when he gets to running, he turns himself into a pinball and he just throws his body around. And when I was talking to Couch, I said, "Man, you better tell him. You better tell him to go ask RG3 what happens when you throw your body around and take unnecessary hits."
Hey, there's a lot of people can ask, but yeah, that's definitely one that he can be close to ask those questions. And of course, I got the Philadelphia Eagles number 1, but I will say Washington is going to be a threat. We don't have back-to-back winners in the division, no matter who it is. So Dallas is not going to win the division. They're not going to be the ones to break it, especially with what they have not done. Now, they go out and maybe grab some people, make some moves, do some things. Hey, they could maybe pull up and be second. But right now, I've got to put the Jaden Daniels-led Commanders over them because you don't have film on him. He's as complete as you're going to get coming out of the draft. Not saying he's going to be as good as C.J. Stroud was last year, but you saw what happens when you do that. You saw it.
No doubt. I can dig it. Cool, man. Hey, before we wrap this up, man, I always got to give you your flowers, man. I always appreciate the hard work and the dedication that you do to this game. You always been a good friend to me and in this business, and I always appreciate you. So before we get up out of here, man, tell them people where they can find you at one more time.
Yes, sir. Always you can hit that link tree right there because everything's on Linktree. We got WDRBmedia.com, or you can look them up on the I forgot which app it is. There's so many apps, but you can also find them on the app. You've got Real Wise Radio. You can find me there. You can find me on a lot of places. But what I really would like everybody to do to look out for your boy is go to YouTube. Type in @Eagles Elite Podcast. It's going to pop up. You're going to see the symbol you see behind me on this hat. Hit that like, share, subscribe, and the notification button for your boy.
Yes, sir. Right?
And I would also like you, while you're still on YouTube after you've done that and you're still happy, still feeling good, go ahead and type in @Real Play Callers, right? And then do the same thing.
Yes, sir.
So then Monday, you want to talk wrestling? We got the wrestling coming for you. Wednesdays, we all about the Eagles. You know, we slide some other stuff in there depending on what's happening. Fridays, talk about a little bit of everything, and somebody should be on for the football season on Fridays for the last part of the show. We gonna see, but somebody should be on.
Hey man, you ain't gonna call me out like that, dog. Hey man, you know me. I'm busy. I'm just busy as you be, dog. But you know what? Because you my dog, I'm gonna squeeze my ass on in there. Whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I'm gonna squeeze my ass on that last.
We'll need you for more than 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. The max you need. You know what I'm saying? We can get you about 8:10, 8:30. We good.
Hey, that's all I need, bro. That's all I need, man.
About 20 minutes. See, Mark was one of the people when I did my Matchup Madness show. Man, he really brought a lot of energy, a lot of positive things. He takes criticism with a laugh. He don't worry about it. His eyes probably be like as big as his glasses, other than, but we can't see him, so we just have to feel it.
Hey man, this one's so bright, man. I take out the shades. My light is so damn bright, and that joint is sitting right on top of my face. So I'm like, man. Anyway, man, but now, man,
close now, and I feel you. I'm almost like, I'm about to be like the I.O.W. boys, real quick.
Hey, I'm loaded, dog. I ain't trying to mess up my cataracts. I don't know if I got the right marijuana that can fix that. So,
I had the eye surgery, so I ain't even worried about that. I spent my 5 minutes to do that. Yeah, man.
Hey man, but always a pleasure to chop it up with you, cool man. Hey, y'all know y'all can find me going over to my Twitter page, KC Wildcard, and I be posting all the stuff that I be doing. Y'all know me. I learn from him. I learn from him to just always stay busy, and so I stayed busy. Hey man, hey, so that's where I learned it from. So just going over to my Twitter, man. Down below, you see it scrolling. That's where you can find all the I.O.W. Sports Network content. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. There's even the Cash App if you're feeling generous. All right. But hey, I ain't gonna hold you too much longer, my brother, man. Always a pleasure to chop it up with you. Football season is back. We'll see a lot of each other. Trust me. We'll see more of each other. No,
I'll be on some of your stuff too. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. But on behalf of my brother Cool McCain, I'm Wildcard Mar. We up out here, man. Football's back. Hey, we happy for it, man. Peace.